Today, I'll walk you through step by step how to integrate QuickBooks with ClickUp so your project management and accounting data finally live in the same connected ecosystem. QuickBooks is one of the most widely used small business accounting platforms in the world, and ClickUp is a powerhouse for task and project management. Bringing them together means your team can trigger financial actions directly from the work they're already doing, without jumping between tabs or re-entering data by hand. If that sounds useful to you, please hit like and subscribe so you never miss a tutorial like this, and let's get started. The first thing you need to do is open ClickUp and sign into your account. Make sure you're signing in with the credentials that have administrative or owner-level permissions on your workspace, because setting up integrations typically requires elevated access. Trying to connect apps with a guest or limited member account is one of the most common reasons this process stalls early. Once you're in, navigate to the specific workspace where you want the integration to live. In ClickUp, a workspace is your top-level organization. Think of it as the container that holds all your spaces, folders, and lists. If you manage multiple businesses or clients from one ClickUp account, be deliberate here. The integration you're about to create will be scoped to whichever workspace you choose. Now look in the lower left corner of the screen for your workspace avatar. It's usually a small icon showing your company logo or initials. Click it, and from the menu that appears, select App Center or Integrations depending on which version of ClickUp you're running. ClickUp has been rolling out interface updates, so the label may differ slightly, but the destination is the same: a directory of third-party apps and native integrations that extend what ClickUp can do. Spend a moment reviewing the available options before you search for anything. ClickUp's App Center is broader than most people realize, and you might spot adjacent tools, time trackers, CRMs, communication apps that could benefit your workflow while you're already here. When you're ready, type QuickBooks into the search bar to see whether a direct native integration is available in your plan. Direct integrations are the simplest path. They're built and maintained by ClickUp, require no third-party account, and tend to be the most stable option long-term. If QuickBooks doesn't appear as a native option, which can happen depending on your subscription tier or region, don't worry. Platforms like Make, formerly known as Integromat, or Zapier serve as middleware that connects almost any two apps through a visual workflow builder. Both offer free tiers generous enough to test your setup, and they give you fine-grained control over exactly what data moves and when. Weigh the two approaches. A native integration is simpler but less flexible. A middleware platform requires a little more configuration but can handle complex multi-step logic. Once you've decided on your method, select it and click Connect or Add Integration. You'll be prompted to sign in to your QuickBooks account. Use the credentials for the QuickBooks administrator, not a standard user, because the next step requires you to grant ClickUp permission to read and write your financial data. When the OAuth authorization screen appears, read it carefully. You'll see a list of the specific data scopes being requested. Things like invoices, customers, and chart of accounts access. Only approve what you genuinely need. You can always revisit permissions later if the integration requires broader access. After authorization, you'll choose which QuickBooks company file to connect. If you operate more than one company under the same QuickBooks login, this step is critical. Connecting the wrong entity means financial data flows into the wrong books, which is a painful mistake to untangle later. Now comes the most important configuration stage, defining what the integration actually does. You'll set up actions, for example, automatically creating a QuickBooks invoice whenever a ClickUp task moves to a particular status, or syncing new client records from ClickUp into QuickBooks as customers. Think through your real business workflow here. Which moment in a project signals that money is owed? That's your trigger event. Common triggers include task completion, status changes to something like ready to invoice, or a due date being reached. With your triggers defined, you'll map ClickUp fields to their QuickBooks counterparts. This is field mapping, and it deserves careful attention. A ClickUp custom field labeled Client Name needs to point to the QuickBooks Customer field. A field called Project Value should map to the invoice line item amount. Mismatched or unmapped fields are the leading cause of garbled or incomplete records on the QuickBooks side. Before you save anything, run a test. Most integration tools provide a test run button that pushes a sample record through the entire chain and shows you exactly what arrives on the QuickBooks side. Review the test result field by field. If something is missing or formatted incorrectly, go back and adjust the mapping now. It's far easier to fix before the integration is live than after hundreds of real transactions have passed through. When you're satisfied with the test results, save the configuration and enable the integration. From this point on, ClickUp and QuickBooks will exchange data automatically based on the rules you've set. Make a habit of checking the automation or sync logs periodically. Weekly is a good cadence to catch any failed runs early. Integrations can occasionally lose authorization when passwords change or tokens expire, so if you ever notice data has stopped flowing, reauthorize the connection through the same App Center menu you used to set it up. Finally, treat your integration as a living workflow. As your business grows, your processes will change. New service types, new team members, new billing structures, and your field mappings and trigger rules should evolve with them. You've now successfully integrated QuickBooks with ClickUp, which means less manual data entry, faster invoicing, and a much cleaner link between the work your team does and the money it generates. Save this video to your Watch Later playlist so you can revisit the configuration steps whenever you need to make changes. And if this saved you time today, a like really does help the channel grow. Good luck with your new connected workflow.